listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. Each week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. If you've got a real estate question, you can always call us here at the studio to answer your question. It's 281-882-8088. Just leave your name and your question, and we'll be happy to get back with you. We answer a lot of questions here on the air, and whatever real estate situation you're in, we'd like to help you out. You can also contact us using Twitter, using hashtag HRER. The number again is 281-882-8088. We always love hearing from our listeners, and you can find us on Facebook as well. We post all of our videos to Facebook, and you can find us at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. If we answer your question, we can send you a guide put out by the National Association of Realtors that will help you through your next transaction as well as a buyer. So we still have some of those left. We've been talking about crime, and crime is such an important factor for buyers to look at when they're trying to figure out where they're going to live. Of course, homeowners always have to worry about crime, but for buyers, they want to look at the crime and what's going on in different areas as they're choosing the place where they're going to call home. So it's really important. It's really important to know the information about the different areas. And as a realtor, I can't tell someone, this is a high crime area, this is a low crime area. So I have a lot of websites that I send them to. So we're going to talk a little bit about the websites that you can go to get more information. Next, I'm joined here in the studio with Sheriff Adrian Garcia. He is an elected official, the sheriff of all of Harris County, huge area that he's working. So we're going to hear from him and some of the things going on in Harris County. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
You have a lot of area to cover. How do you do it all?
Well, I'm fortunate that I have about 4,000 employees that are working hard along with me to serve the citizens of Harris County. So I don't do it all by myself, but I'm proud to work alongside some great public servants.
There are a lot of great officers in the area, and there are both constables and sheriffs, the sheriff deputies that are out there. And, depending on whether you're having a car accident or your house is getting broke into, you never know who's going to respond. You don't know who's coming. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think people are confused. They don't know who's coming, and they don't know who to call. When you call 911, you don't know who's going to come. You just know help's on the way.
There you go.
So tell us about that. How do you determine who's going to respond to that call, or what is the process behind that?
Well, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is the primary law enforcement agency for all of Harris County. But we work through memorandums of agreement, if you will, with the respective agencies that are in Harris County. A lot of people don't realize that there's about 100 different law enforcement organizations functioning within the jurisdiction of Greater Harris County.
So give us some examples besides constables.
Besides constables, you got the Metro Police, you got the Houston Police, you got the federal agencies, you got the state agencies, DPS, Texas Rangers, TABC. So you have a variety of different agencies.
Okay.
Not to forget the school entities. Some of the school districts, there's 24 school districts within Harris County, most of which have their own law enforcement organization. A lot of the higher education institutions like Lone Star and HCC and others have their own law enforcement organizations. The medical institutions as well have their own police departments for the most part.
And those aren't like your neighborhood. Those aren't like the people who patrol the mall. Those are real officers,
That's
right?
Correct. They're not. They're not guards. They're not security guards. But they are fully licensed, have arresting powers, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
So these are real peace officers, if you will. Now, in Harris County, we have 8 elected constables, and they have their own respective workforces that respond to them. They have their respective jurisdictions. They work out of precincts. Although the sheriff's office is responsible for all of Harris County, the constables work in different particular areas. There's no real difference, if you will, with the exception that when you call 911, it rings in my office. And we have the primary responsibilities to investigate criminal activity that occurs in Harris County. Major crimes, all the serious violent crimes are handled by my department. We have homicide investigators, sex crimes investigators, domestic violence investigators, the whole 9 yards, narcotics, bomb technicians, high-risk operations unit, canine units, pilots, Marine deputies, you name it, we've got it. So we're a full service entity.
Okay.
And so major crimes that occur, we handle it and we investigate it. But constables do have policing authority. They are considered Texas peace officers, as Harris County Sheriff's deputies are as well. So people always ask me, do I need to pull over if a constable's trying to pull me over? Yes. please obey.
You don't want to not do that.
Yeah, please obey. But regardless of what jurisdiction you may be calling 911 from, in the unincorporated areas of the county, it's going to ring in my office. We're going to do our best to get there. However, we do share the frequency with the constables. So if they are nearby and they hear it, they have the option to respond as well.
So once, let's say you have a break-in and a constable comes out and takes care of the report and everything, that report ultimately ends up in your office, right? People can follow up with the sheriff's department.
Correct. They can. However, sometimes the constables will continue to work those depending on what evidence they may get and so on and so forth. But typically, those investigations we do have access to. We can follow up on. We will as we get information.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the new app that you have, because that's exciting. On Friday, I was talking with Michael Garfield about that because, he's all into technology.
Right.
So we were talking about this I Watch Harris County app, and I downloaded it to my phone, so I've been playing with it. But I'm like, I don't want to just play with it because then I might send something and, get in trouble, right?
We're here to talk about official business, Shannon.
So tell us about the app and what it can be used for.
Well, as they say, there's an app for that. And we have a app to help us fight crime. And in fact, I just got a briefing this morning that it continues to pay dividends on behalf of the citizens of Harris County. First of all, it's a free mobile phone app. So anyone can download it to their smartphone, and we encourage all folks to use it.
Just in case. Have it just in case.
Just in case.
Get it on your phone.
And the catalyst for it is, I like to tell the story that one day I was in the kitchen and my daughter was in her room and she sent me a text saying, Dad, will you bring me a glass of water? And I just kind of freaked out for a bit thinking, oh, no, you just didn't. But it made me realize that, this is how we're talking more so these days. We use our phones to text more than we use them to talk from. And so it occurred to me that, we got to get in front of this curve here. So we started talking to my staff. We started looking for best practices. And then we found the concept of iWatch, brought it to Harris County, and it has just been growing by leaps and bounds and bringing us good information, good tips, and we've been arresting a number of bad guys behind it. So the idea is simply this. If you are suspicious about something occurring in your neighborhood, text it to us. It's anonymous. You can send us a digital picture. You can send us video off of your smartphone. And all we need is good details. Folks have been sending us tips about narcotics operations, prostitution operations, different nuisances that are occurring in the community. That information comes to us, and we disperse it within our organization to the appropriate unit responsible, and then they're obligated to follow up on it, investigate it, and then report back to us the results of it. We know that it's working, number one, because of the people that we're arresting, but also because I'd like to monitor it. And some of the discussion that we're having back from it is a typical text conversation. People are saying, wow, I sent you a tip and I saw the deputies show up and they came down like troopers and just stormed this place, and it was good because they're creating all this havoc, and so thank you for this app. And so it's good to get that feedback from the community, but the bottom line is we are sharing it with institutions like Lone Star, school districts. We want everybody to have this tool available to them in the event that they may need it.
So now if someone sends you a picture through this app, is it already geotagged, or do they need to put the location with the text, with the picture? As
much details as you can provide, all the better.
And you don't ever go back and say, hey, you sent this and it wasn't a good lead. I mean,
it's anonymous. So if the only way we can follow up is that if people allow us to. And so if they do give us that option, we'll try to get more information. But generally, people are giving us pretty good details, and it's allowing our investigators to follow up on those. And so we've been.
It's kind of like a Crime Stoppers, but for local Harris County.
It is.
I like it.
But in fact, we partner with Crime Stoppers. So if you want to get your cash reward, you can do so off of the iWatch system as well.
Oh, well, that's cool. I like that. I think it's definitely something that everybody in Harris County needs to download. Give us the website where people can download this, because wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you need to stop if you're in Harris County and download the app so you have it. So when an emergency comes, you're ready.
That's right. Now, I do want to remind folks that it's essentially for non-emergency anonymous crime tips. But we do have an option where you can call 911 from it. But essentially, if you are suspicious, if your gut instinct is telling you that there's something wrong going down the street, and you're worried about having a patrol unit show up to your front door, the app is the thing to use. So you can go either to the Harris County Sheriff's Office website, harriscountyso.org, or you can go straight to our dedicated website for the app, and it's watchharriscounty.com.
All right, fantastic. Make sure you check that out. It's a very cool app, and Michael Garfield approves it, so that's good.
Great. I got a stamp of approval.
All right, so people can go to the website. They can go to the harriscountyso.org website as well to get information. Buyers who are looking to get information about neighborhoods, is that where they should go as well?
That's right. In fact, on our website, you will have you'll see a box, and it's a map. And it actually will, every crime that we are investigating, that we generate a report for, and that we log a report for, it is plotted on that map. Other agencies have had these for years. I got this started because I thought it was an important aspect of transparency and information sharing and empowerment that the community should have access to. So we have that available to the citizens. And the neat thing about it is, it doesn't just track the reports that the sheriff's office or writes, but if a constable writes a report, it'll be plotted on there. And then some of the other neighboring agencies are also users of this particular application.
So it's all on there.
It's all on there.
That's great.
All on there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sheriff Adrian Garcia. We appreciate you coming into the studio today. I know you're a busy man, so it's fantastic to get you in here to talk about some of these neat things you have going on in office.
Well, thank you, and I'd love to come back, but also want to remind folks we have our own Facebook page, so become a friend. And then we also have a Twitter handle, HCSO Texas. So follow us there.
Fantastic. All right. I'm Shannon Register, and you've been listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. Thanks for listening this Sunday afternoon. We have another great show lined up for you next weekend. We'll be back next Sunday, 1 o'clock for more here on Houston Real Estate Radio.